Niue, the rock of Polynesia, may be small, but it stands tall on the global stage. This tiny island has made a monumental leap in ocean conservation with the world's first initiative that has attracted global attention. The country recently celebrated its 50th anniversary of self-governance in free association with New Zealand. Let's take a look at one of Niue's greatest achievements. The Niue Ocean-wide Now Trust. Bold, innovative and transformative, this initiative is reshaping the way the world views ocean sustainability, proving that even the smallest nation can lead in protecting our planet's future. Niue's ocean conservation journey began a decade ago with a goal of protecting its waters in a way that could create long-term benefits without being a burden on future generations.
To actually add value both to our community but also to the region and the rest of the world. We recognize that these big ocean assets, strictly protected, are highly valuable, and they are only getting more and more valuable into the future because the global environment is decreasing in its health. We know that these big ecosystems that are intact into the future will become more and more valuable.
When you talk fishing, you talk your rates of success or the catch is basically how many kilos you get per 100 hooks. And I think back then we were catching in the beginning a lot more than we can actually sell on the market.
But there's no way to monetize that, or there was no way to monetize that when we were developing Niue's plan for how it was going to use its blue real estate.
Niue's ocean is a biodiversity hotspot, home to ecosystems that support the island's culture and sustainable tourism industry.
Look, the Now project is a great project for us because we're looking at how do we conserve what we have and not make the same mistakes, and at least protect a big part of the ocean that there is a domestic stock, so we leave it there, especially around Beveridge Reef.
Conservation here is more than environmental protection. It's about preserving its taonga for future generations.
We did a lot of cost-benefit analysis right from the outset to make sure that we really understood what is the projected possibility to use that blue real estate into the future. And because Niue is so built around the sustainable tourism industry, and our culture and natural taonga is very much around reinforcing that seemed to be the logical way to go. And when we looked at establishing a large-scale marine protected area that would actually add value to Niue's tourism product anyway. So it made economic sense, it made cultural sense, and it certainly made environmental sense. And that's why we set out to work with the government to make sure that we could protect the ocean space.
Leading our news tonight, Niue has become a global leader in ocean conservation.
In September 2023, Niue's conservation efforts took center stage when Premier Dalton Tangilangi announced the Niue Ocean Conservation Commitments in New York. This innovative initiative allows individuals, organizations, and philanthropists to sponsor a square kilometer of Niue's ocean for 20 years.
For us here, and in the Pacific, is all about conservation and sustainability. But if we talk about funding instead of, because we're sick of tired of trying to extract funding from those big organizations, so we have our own unique way of approaching philanthropy people, those that are committed or understand the sustainability and being, conservation efforts. And I think those are the people that it's helping us to get where we are.
The initiative, which protects 40% of Niue's exclusive economic zone, 127,000 square kilometers of ocean, positions Niue as a global leader in ocean conservation percentage of waters protected.
We're getting recognized by some of the things that we've been doing, especially, the conservation, the ocean-wide project sort of really elevates us. People around internationals have been asking questions, where is this place? My challenge now, or our challenge, is to be our borders, the control of borders, because now we're exposed to the world because of all these things. And that is the good thing about us, that we're isolated in the middle of nowhere. There's only one way in or out, it's via New Zealand. So we expect them for that protection through the borders, but then we also have the ocean crafts, as yachts.
This groundbreaking project not only protects Niue's marine ecosystems, but also serves as an inspiring example for small island nations around the world.
So we've got people in the Caribbean who are already looking at the methodology and trying to roll that out in the Amazon around the use and management protection of their rainforests. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely what we wanted to help create and support others do the same. We have a very small part of the planet that we manage, so the more people that can use this in a positive way, the better.
The Niue Now Trust was established to ensure that Niue's ocean remains protected in perpetuity, providing funds to support ongoing protection.
I'm happy to say that we have received some of the pledges that has been made, and we still have a little bit to go for the rest to what we wanted to get to, which is about $30 million. So
1 year in, we already have around $6.5 million in commitment, which is pretty amazing for a small place. I think the cool thing about this initiative is it provides a mechanism for anyone to contribute and be a part of that journey. And the people and those stakeholders who want to be a part of that recognize the incredible value of that ocean asset under protection for at least 20 years.
We've been able to working with the village communities. There's 14 villages. We've been working with the local government agencies and other projects to help set up resource management advisory committees in each of the villages. And so we also provide some resources to help build a little bit of capacity within the villages and identify for them where their management interests and ability to contribute towards sustainable management, conservation of their marine areas within their respective villages fits into the national management frameworks of the national government.
For Niueans, the ocean is more than a resource. It's their lifeblood. The Niue Ocean-wide project is not just about conservation. It's about preserving culture and ensuring that the connection between people and the ocean endures.
I think that's the real game changer for us. Through this process, our villagers become engaged, actually empower them for, in a programmatic way that enables a long-term engagement with them in a consistent manner. I really feel excited, that we're able to contribute to setting something up that the next generation will, be able to pick up and move forward long after we leave.
While the project has seen great success, it has also faced challenges. securing international funding, managing compliance, and addressing the growing impact of climate change on the Pacific. Yet, through the dedication of Niuean leaders and international partners, the project continues to thrive.
In terms of measurable environmental and ecological impacts, we're really fortunate, I guess at a larger scale, that our partners, National Geographic Pristine Seas, helped us right at the beginning. In 2016, they came working together with the Ministry of Natural Resources, the Department of Agriculture and the Fisheries Division in particular, SPC. We were able to undertake the most comprehensive baseline survey of both Niue, our ocean space, and Beveridge Reef. And then they've come back and did a second mission 5 or 6 years later, which was fantastic because we were able to see from that at least that the uplift in biomass of certain species was visible. And that was despite some very challenging weather conditions that we had to do the second one. We've also been able to deploy with them enhanced methodologies. So the eDNA, we were able to identify, tens, if not hundreds more species. And so that adds to the database that we have.
Water temperature outside?
Just a second.
We are at 200 meters deep in the submarine with National Geographic Pristine Seas, and Yuval is our very able captain, and I'm here with Nam Otoa, and we are so excited.
Let's go. This is the first ever. What are you gonna call it?
I have no idea what's the name of it.
Googly eyes.
Googly eyes. Here we go.
Nice, good name.
Very scientific. All right, so.
It's helping us build the picture and being able to monitor over time whether there are significant environmental changes for the better.
Yeah, we see the bottom.
To the point, the consultants were here from Conservation International and Blue Nature Alliance, guiding us, establishing that framework.
We've been admiring your Niue's ambition with the creation of the Moana Mahu large-scale MPA. And we're here to really help Niue think through and set up the structures that are needed to ensure that there will be sort of long-term financial resources to support Niue's ocean conservation work.
In the next month or two, start rolling out some of that programmatic funding to them, engaging and strengthening the fisheries agency, for example, so that it's a co-management arrangement. It's about creating that partnership between them, the interest of the now partnership with the government and the village communities and Niue as a whole. We want operators in the marine environment to, be getting rid of plastics, which is already starting to happen.
Niue's conservation efforts have earned global recognition, inspiring other small island nations and contributing to worldwide environmental sustainability.
It's been a fantastic journey, and we're really lucky to have been recognised internationally and the Fast Companies Awards, Global Awards this year as a world-changing idea in the way that we bring together this type of natural conservation credit.
The world is watching, and I think it's just that the way that how we approach and how we embarked on this journey that really helps us further understanding how important it is that what we inherited from those before us, our forefathers, is important that we do the same. We enjoy what they left us today, and we're going to make sure there's sustainability for those after us.
And I think one of the great things is our international partners recognise how cool it is to have Indigenous people create something that is meaningful for them, that fits their purpose, and actually would fit the purpose of many other states around the world, because it is such a transparent and logical framing of how we should value nature. And I think in a world where we have put so much emphasis on the financial markets, globalization and advanced development, we can see what that is doing to the planet, right? We will never be able to sustain the health of the planet if we continue in that model. So we do have to be innovative. We have to be bold. And even when it doesn't suit the financial market legal regulations right now, we shouldn't let those laws that have actually resulted in the deterioration of the planet dictate the path that we take going forward. I really want our future generations of children to grow up in a healthy ocean. So anything we can do to help protect that, and protect it in a way that assures its longevity, and that is a model for other small island developing states, so that this becomes infectious across the Blue Pacific continent, that you don't have to think of conservation as a loss, that you're locking something up so you're losing the value of that, because we are at the point where those assets are really valuable. We've just got to find a way to monetize some of that value to make sure that it doesn't become a burden to small island states in the Pacific. This was a way for us to turn the table on the way that, global funds and contributions to all of these things that we are contributing positively to with conservation, climate change, biodiversity protection, SDGs, security.
The Now Trust stands as the testament to the island's resilience and forward-thinking leadership. By protecting its ocean, Niue is safeguarding its future and demonstrating the power of community-driven conservation to the world.
Well, I mean, that's why we do it, right? So that our children have a sustainable future and can be proud that not only are they building a sustainable livelihood for themselves, but they can stand tall on the international stage. They come to the table as children of the Blue Pacific continent, protecting the largest blue lung on the planet. That's pretty cool.
Learn how you can contribute to this world-changing initiative.